Valerian pulled me away from Balahil's corpse. He then smacked the elk on the ass and sent it and the cart scurrying off down the road, away from the woman coming toward us from across the bridge. I couldn't think. I could barely take a solid breath. I had blood on my hands, actual blood on my hands. It wasn't hypothetical anymore. I had caused someone to die because I had brought malice into existence. "I need you to get behind me," Valerian said. I wouldn't have been able to argue with him even if I had wanted to. The stink of the rapidly cooling blood on my hands was everywhere, assaulting my nostrils, invading my lungs. Stupidly, I wiped my hands on my clothes, but that only made things worse. "We need to go!" Melina yelled, though her voice sounded distant to me, and somehow slow. When I looked up at her, I saw her standing next to Cobalt, who looked entirely unsettled. Gully was buzzing around them both. She was also yelling for Valerian and me to run toward them, to leave this place of death. But I knew I couldn't leave. She wasn't about to let us just leave. She was almost on top of us already, her lithe silhouette looking far closer than it had been mere seconds ago. The way she moved, the way she walked, the way her hips swayed, it was with utter confidence and calm. She wasn't worried that she was alone and that there were 5 of us. Malice didn't care that she was outnumbered, nor did she seem to care that Valerian was with us. Surely she knew about him, or knew enough about him to understand the kinds of abilities he had. Of all of us, he was the only one wielding a weapon after all. The fact that she wasn't afraid of him, or of any of us, made me even more terrified of her than I already was. "Amara," Valerian said, his voice snapping me out of my trance. "Are you with me?" Yes, I am," I said, shaking off the daze I had been in. It was as if the world suddenly came into focus. Time reasserted itself. The sounds around me grew sharper and clearer, and I was no longer entirely focused on the blood on my hands. "Good," he said, "because we're going to need your help." "What we need to do is get the hells out of here," Gully yelled, "before she gets here." "She's already here," came Malice's voice. It was low and husky, like the purr of a jungle cat. She was already standing at our end of the bridge, only a few feet from where we were standing. And for the first time in my life, I got a good look at the woman pretending to be me. I had expected a doppelganger, but that wasn't at all the case. Malice was lithe and tall, and while her skin was as fair as mine, and some of our facial features were similar, similar was about where the line was drawn. Instead of antlers rising from the crown of her head, she had curved ram's horns that traced the shape of her skull, their points ending along the sides of her jaw,